questions there. But,
Okay. So the benefits is crazy being a ticket salesman. You can literally work from anywhere in the world. Okay. So what does a burnout look like in high ticket sales?
Maybe burnout. Overworking yourself, maybe.
Yeah.
People can deal with different levels of workload.
Yeah.
I think you can burn yourself in any area. You know, you look at a professional footballer, they love playing football. That's why they do it, for the love of the game, okay? But you make them overtrain and overplay, the love slips away, you know? It doesn't really matter what industry you're in. If you overwork yourself, quite frankly, I feel like you're going to burn out. Doesn't matter what it is. So being aware of your own ability, what you can achieve, what you can do, and not setting, you know, overly ambitious expectations of yourself, important. I'd say that's the only way that I could see someone burning out.
Yeah.
In high ticket sales, yeah.
Yeah. And as a beginner, how long should someone struggle before ever thinking about quitting?
Quitting's an interesting one. You don't fail till you quit.
Okay.
I think we should always be consciously evaluating, taking a step back and looking at things. And I'm a big believer in trying things. So I think you should always have a clear goal in mind. For me, I was never going to quit with high ticket sales because I knew that I would be successful with it, because I knew what abilities I had, right? And I knew it was the perfect playing field for me to demonstrate my ability, okay? So for me, that was never a question, because I knew I'd be successful. Let's say you're someone that's thinking, could I do it, could I not? I'm not too sure. Well, then, okay, it's about a trial experience. It's a trial period to see if that's something that I can do.
Yeah.
So I think approaching that with that mentality is very important, but you have to have structure with it. So let's say, okay, well, this is something that I'm going to attempt. Let me give it 3 months of hard work. You know, let me really give it my all for 3 months, and let's evaluate where I'm at. Because then you've actually got data, okay? How did I feel? How did I perform? What has my progress been like? You've got data you can evaluate. Now you can take this into absolutely any area. It doesn't have to be high ticket sales.
Yeah.
I think if you're going into anything new, any kind of venture, you have to have a clear structured plan and approach to it. You know, you can't just go into it with like no kind of structure or plan, because it's going to be very hard for you to actually, you know, really understand how things are progressing and that kind of thing. You know, I think if you were to get into it and you didn't enjoy being on camera or closing these deals or speaking with people, and you didn't enjoy it, it made you anxious, maybe look at doing something else.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's quitting, it's you gave it a go and you realised it doesn't suit you.
Yeah.
You know?
So if someone has zero experience, what's the best strategy they should do first? Obviously, earlier you mentioned the fact that you was practicing with your friends. So what would someone do? What should someone do with zero experience first before they get into this?
Now, as much as I, you know, like I said, I didn't invest in mentorship, which is what most people do to get into the industry. I'd already got a degree in sales. I'd already spent years cold calling, and not just cold calling, but I'd also go into these business meetings, and on my own, I'd drive to businesses and then I'd pitch in front of like a room of 5 or 6 people. So I'd already got the confidence and comfortability in pitching, selling, being in front of people. So I'd already got that ability and I knew that. So for me, it was really just about transferring skills. So I knew that I am, you know, articulate enough to be able to do that on my own without someone else's input, which is why I just practice with friends and go into it. Now, I don't think there is a broad, you know, everyone's different, okay? And everyone's coming from a different playing field. Everyone's coming with different experiences and such. The honest answer is, if you want to get into it quickly, get a mentor. Okay. You know, get training, get mentored. And like, the reason I say that is because you're just going to progress much quicker. You know, if you've got no experience in the gym and you want to become a bodybuilder, then get a PT, you know, get a coach, because you're just going to get 10 years of someone's experience and knowledge condensed into a shorter period of education that you can take on board and action yourself. Yeah. I'm a big believer that, you know, the only reason I didn't do that with sales is because I was already skilled in the area. Anything else that I would look for, you have to look at the equation of time and money, you know. As far as I'm concerned, if you can spend money to get more time back, you should do that every time. And so if that means you're looking at getting into something and you can pay for education and mentorship that's going to allow you to progress quicker, giving you more time, you should always do that.
Okay. Do you think high ticket sales is a long-term career? Like how long do you see yourself doing this for?
It depends what your goals and your plans are, okay?
Yeah.
Now, for me, I will continue to do this until I can make the money that I want to make from coaching and mentoring people into it myself.
Yes.
So, and the reason I say that is because as much as I get fulfillment from bringing people on with like closing these deals and bringing people onto the program, I know for a fact I will get far more fulfillment out of actually helping people get into an industry,
So,
and coaching them myself. So that's the next plan for me.
Yes. That was literally the next question I was going to ask you. So is that where you want to go ahead now? Like how long do you see yourself before you start beginning to do that?
So I know for a fact, it depends what your target audience is, right? Okay. So for example, there's coaches and mentors now that will coach and mentor high ticket salesmen to become the best that they could possibly be, right? So that's something that I want to do in the future, okay? I probably don't have the skill set to do that now because I'm not making 100 grand a month, okay? Those jobs are kind of reserved for the people that are doing that because they've got the proof of concept to actually go and do that with people. But what I would like to do and what I am going to do is coach and mentor people from a complete beginner standpoint into the industry.
Yeah.
Because when I look at why I wanted to get into this, it's because of the freedom that it provides. It's because of the control it gives me. It gives me time. It gives me all of these things back, right? And quite frankly, that's the most important thing that I wanted. The money I make from it is obviously fantastic, but that's secondary, okay?
Yeah.
So I think when I'm looking at how I could massively actually, maximize the skill set I've got now, something I've spoken about a couple of times today, right? I've got the skills to close deals, but I've also got the skills to take someone from a complete beginner perspective and put them in a position where they can also do the same thing, as long as they can listen to what I'm saying and conversate and learn with me. Okay. So I've got the skill set to take someone from a complete beginner and put them in a position where they can make, between 2 to 10K a month and more, realistically.
Yeah.
But I've got the skill set to do that. So that's the next step for me because, quite frankly, from a fulfillment perspective, I can take people out of work that they don't like, 9-to-5 jobs, industries they're not interested in, that they don't enjoy. And if I can coach them and take them to a position where that they can do this for a full-time living, then it massively changes their lives.
Yeah.
And so that's something that I will be doing soon because I'm now at a point where I know I've got the skill set to do that. Yeah. I've got the proof of concept to do that. So that's what I will do. But the end goal would then be to upskill and mentor people that are already in the industry, so to speak.
Yeah.